Hi, welcome to the Penguin Post newspaper Black Kids. Today we are interviewing Vitor Bessa Ferriera. He studies chickens that are going to be killed soon. He also studies their emotions and how they feel. Let's ask him some questions.
How did you get into studying chickens?
Well, I always loved animals, so I decided to do an animal science degree in Brazil back in 2009. And my interest in animal behavior started in late 2014, about 6 years ago. I started studying monkeys in zoos, and I was interested in knowing why monkeys are more stressed than others. Some monkeys are more stressed than others in captive conditions. So I found that part of this is related to their personalities. Some monkeys are different than others. They present different personalities, so they face living in a zoo in different ways. So after I finish these studies, these are part of my master's degree. As I also have some training in farm animals, I decided to study farm animal behavior. So since chicken behavior is poorly understood, and there was a job offer to study how chickens are different for each other, I came to France to do this work. This is
What are some experiments that you conduct with chickens?
So I study free-range chickens. So you must know that these chickens have access to two types of environments. So they have the barn where they have food and nectar, and they also have an outdoor space that we call range, where they can run, they can search for food, they can scratch the ground. In other words, they can express their natural behavior. But many scientific studies show that not all chickens like to go outside. Some chickens prefer to stay indoors. So to understand the reason behind why some chickens prefer to stay indoors, I conducted some experiments on cognition. So what cognition means? So is I try to understand how chickens think, how they perceive these things, how they how they feel, how they memorize. So I train chickens to work for food. So and through the behavior through their behavior, I can ask them some questions. So they answer us through their behavior. Besides that, I also do some behavior tasks. I put chickens into different situations, such we put them in an empty room where they are all alone. So we also put them in contact with a novel object that they don't know. It may be they may be afraid of this object. So with all these tasks, all these cognitive tasks, all these behavioral tasks, we can understand, we can somehow understand how different the chickens are from one another. Why some of them go outside and why some of them stay inside the barn.
Do people ever train chickens?
Yes, they do. As I mentioned, animals do not speak like us, humans. So we need to train them to show us through their behavior and how they are feeling, what they are thinking. So during my work, for example, I train chickens to find hidden food. We use mealworms. They love mealworms. So they are very excited to search for these mealworms. So we hid mealworms in different cups. Some of these cups contained mealworms, others did not. So we tested the chicken's memory if they remembered which cups had mealworms. Also, it's very funny too.
Can you tell us about how chickens are different from one another?
Yes, many studies are showing that chickens have different personalities. Like us, for example, some of us may be more bold, more fearless, more curious, more explorative. However, we also find individuals that are fearful, anxious, less explorative. So these differences have a great impact on how chickens feel. So it's important to take these differences into account so we can make chickens feel good in their life for the most part of the time.
How can you hypnotize chickens?
Chickens can be hypnotized when you put that into their backs. So they have a reaction called tonic immobility. So they stay still for some minutes because they think that you are a predator. So yeah, it's not a really type of hypnotization, but yeah, it may occur. So if you put the chickens in their backs, they they can behave like that. They can become immobile for some time.
What is your favorite part of your job?
So the favorite part of my job is reading and writing about our experiments. When we are as science, we needed to write our experience in our experiences and publish in specific journals, so people can read it and know what we did. I really enjoy writing about animals, so this is the favorite part of my job. But the fact that we interact with animals and we know these animals individually is also very funny and interesting. I love to see the improvement of the chickens during our memory tests when they get better and better in fighting the food.
What is the most difficult part of your job?
The worst part is surely by the end of the experiments when chickens become heavier. They become heavier and heavier as days go by. They also run very fast, and we need to capture them and carry them into a transport box. So we need to capture them. We need to move them to their home to another experimental room. So in my case, the experimental room is very far from the home, so sometimes it was very hard and tiring.
How can we learn more about how chickens think and feel?
The best way to learn more about how chickens feel is just observe them for a long time, not just a few minutes, but to have everyday contact with them. Part of my work is based on observation, so I did learn a lot in these periods of observation. Not only chickens, but every other animal. So I recommend for everyone who wants to learn more about chicken behavior, just sit down near chickens and pay attention to what they are doing.
That was so interesting. We loved your answers. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.